good, everything good, but the brain is going down. You're not holding it, and you're moving down the hill. This is nature. My father, right now, I buy him paper. Every day I gotta buy a paper. There's a man who bought me paper before. Mm-hmm. I'm buying paper now because the time has reached. So I thought the old man could be president in 2017 and run for this. And he himself said, he said, when you run for one term, he himself said it. I agree with him. 2023, no, I disagree. In my mind, he should rest, find somebody else.
I'm filled with a profound sense of gratitude and humility. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve as your president and commander-in-chief for the past 6 years. Together, in 2018, we embarked on a journey to build a united, peaceful, and prosperous Liberia. And I am deeply thankful for the trust and support you have bestowed upon me and my administration during my tenure. As we navigate the complexity of governance, your partnership was instrumental in the development and implementation of policies and programs that aim to bring progress and development to our great nation. Reflecting on the accomplishment of these 6 years, let me tell you that I am proud of what we have achieved together. We have built roads, supported free wires and free tuition at high schools and public universities, stabilized the macroeconomic challenges we face in 2018, built hundreds of pro-poor housing units, and achieved on so many fronts that we are able to list here today. However, I acknowledge that there is always room for improvement, and perhaps more could have been done under different circumstances. Regrettably, some of the long-term projects we initiated did not reach completion during my tenure. I am hopeful that the incoming administration will carry the torch forward and bring these initiatives to fruition for the benefit of all Liberians. Fellow compatriots, rumors and misinformation have played a large part in our politics over the last 6 years. It is my hope we as a country will overcome this challenge over the next 6 years. To begin this, we must start with the facts of the transition. I must report to you that we are leaving behind a better economy than we inherited. Today, President-elect Joseph Nima Bouaka will inherit a stronger economy than I inherited. There is a bigger net international reserve position than was handed me in 2018. I inherited 94,999,000 United States dollars in net international reserves. And I am handing over to the next administration a net international reserve position of 222,700,000 United States dollars. This is 136% increase in the net international reserve position. The total cash balance in the government's consolidated account is United States $40,044,365.90. In 2018, my government inherited a consolidated cash position of $7 million United States dollars. The next administration thus has more resources to deal with emergency macroeconomic challenges than my administration had at its disposal in 2018. My fellow citizens, through our time together, I held still fast to two cornerstones of leadership, keeping the peace and upholding the democratic. Therefore, I urge you, my fellow citizens, to continue to be law-abiding and seek peaceful means to resolve differences. Embrace tolerance and dialogue. Let us love one another and come together as one people, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us remember the strength of our unity, the resilience of our democracy, and the hope that lies in the future of Liberia. As we welcome a new era, let us move forward hands in hand with a shared commitment to building a united nation that will continue to strive on observing the tenets of democracy and adhering to the rule of law. May God bless you all, and may God continue to bless the Republic of Liberia.
Those who want to speak, we never had inauguration with everybody happy. We are rejoicing over the defeat of the old regime. We are rejoicing about our effort to bring a new regime. Then we sit down with happiness. We go to write paper for that 79-year-old man. He's struggling to read. Then you put that, I will tell you that issue. I will tell you US, I will bring one man for you. Because you think one man for you, I will tell you what I'm bringing. When you come to the
when you elect a clown and you think that he will be a king, what he does is to convert the kingdom into a circus. This is what we must deal with, and this is what we must say. Who do we elect into our public offices? Because, as I've said before, when you allow hyenas to take care of goats, why should you be surprised when the goats are eaten? This is the same. And Africa is only going to realize our potential in all areas when, by dint of choice, we enable and allow our best men and women to serve in different areas. I've heard it being said about Lee Kuan Yew in Singapore. I've heard it being suggested about Mahathir Mohamad in Malaysia. I've heard it being said about Japan. I've heard it being said about other countries, but there was a conscious decision on the part of those individuals and the followership. We always talk about leaders, but we never talk about the followers. The followers must also style up. Africans on average are for some reason attracted to thieves. Africans are for some reason attracted to men and women who cannot serve her. And when they are not served, then they complain. When Africans are told, choose you now whom we shall release, Jesus of Nazareth or Barabbas, they say, release Barabbas. And when Barabbas behaves like Barabbas, they say, why are you not behaving like Christ? It cannot be done.
In May of 2001, signed a second of two executive orders, number 13213, Defense Exhibit D310, in which it was stated, and I quote, the government of Liberia's complicity in the RUF's illicit trade in diamonds and its other forms of support for the RUF are direct challenges to the United States foreign policy objectives in the region, as well as the rule-based international order that is critical to the peace and prosperity of the United States. Therefore, I find these actions by the government of Liberia contribute to the unusual and extraordinary threat to the foreign policy of the United States described in Executive Order 13194, with respect to which the President declared a national emergency. This executive order did not say the alleged complicity, it concluded the complicity. The conspiracy was born, all systems put into motion, and here I stand today. I never stood a chance. This is the broader contextual matrix that regrettably did not and still has not seen the light of day in these proceedings, despite the gallant efforts by the defense to unearth and reveal the contextual framework behind the charges against me. Now, with the two executive orders, the dogs were let out, so to speak. What followed was a dispatch of the attack pack led by Lieutenant Colonel David Crane, Defense Intelligence, 30 years, prosecutor. He, Crane, unlawfully unsealed the court's sealed indictment to his handlers, senior U.S. government officials at the U.S. Embassy in Freetown, and was never held to account. The rest of the operational team are Colonel Brandon Hollis, Defense Intelligence, CIA, U.S. Air Force, Senior Trial Counsel, and now prosecutor. James C. Johnson, U.S. Army expert, 20 years on conventional and special operations, Chief of Prosecutions for the SCSL. Alan White, 30 years, Defense Intelligence, recalled from retirement to head up investigations at the Special Court of Sierra Leone. Stephen J. Rapp came on board as chief prosecutor for a short time with experience from Capitol Hill, where he served with the U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee sometime before. It came as no surprise to me that as a reward of sorts for Stephen Rapp's diligence in the execution of U.S. foreign policy objectives through these ad hoc tribunals, he was appointed U.S. Ambassador at large for war crimes issues. In support of the contextual framework of politics, on February 8, 2006, Lieutenant Colonel David Crane, prosecutor, appeared before a U.S. Congress Subcommittee on Africa, Defense Exhibit D-404, and spelled out in clear terms the decision taken in support of regime change in Liberia and what needed to happen to solidify that process. There was little mention, if any, in his testimony about Sierra Leone. And here is what he said. I posit that 5 years from now, when the international community is challenged by other crises, Taylor in Calabar, under the protection of Nigeria, will make his move. We will wake up one morning and watch on CNN as Taylor rides triumphantly down the main street in Monrovia to the executive mansion, daring all of us to come and get him. Unless he is handed over to the special court for Sierra Leone, this scenario is not out of the realm of possibilities. He then asked, how do we assure Liberia's future? And he answers that. Ultimately, he says, what we do about Taylor in the next several weeks will determine the fate of Liberia and the new administration of its president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Crane then sets out several plans, two of which I'll state here. He said, first, hand Charles Taylor over to the special court for Sierra Leone for a fair trial, his kind of trial. This takes him out of the local and regional dynamics that is West Africa. Second, tie any financial and political support to good governance in Liberia. Time does not permit, but the exhibits are present. Not even the Nigerian nation was spared from threats and intimidation, as explained by Femi Kayode, press secretary to President Obasanjo, the Nigerian head of state, who was with him in Washington when President George W. Bush promised, and I quote, to bring Nigeria to its knees if Taylor was not turned over to the special court. And what happened? Obasanjo buckled and capitulated. Now, this demonstrates the significant pressure that was brought to bear on President Obasanjo, irrespective of his personal and leadership obligations to the West African sub-region. And therein lies the dilemma for current African heads of state and government, but how to enter into binding commitments and obligations with the African pairs and remain steadfast, resolute, and unyielding in their fidelity to those agreements in the face of such unrelenting and punishing pressure from powerful Western leaders.
Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on. I know y'all sleeping now. Y'all gotta wake up small, yeah? Okay, let's go. People sue us. The people last us. The government betray us. So much time. I said it's a lie. The people sue us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they can lie. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with their speech they put in D, and now you need to deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why does you lie? Why does you steal? Why does you allow the citizens to be? See, we just tell you. That's why we voted you. But you screw us, you screw us, you use us and little abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people screw us, the people last us.
Let me say thank you so much to Stanley B. Nangbe, the man who played the role of the technician in the absence of the technician. Oh, you have to bear with us because this boat is misbehaving. So even if we try to bring the power down, to lower the volume of the music so you hear us, the leakage. But it's good to have all of you join us tonight. Let me say a very, very pleasant good evening to all of you across the country. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to those of you in the diaspora, our friends, our fans, our followers, our critics. And even those of you who do not like the things we say and the way we say them, it's good to have all of you join us tonight. A lot to talk about on the show tonight.
Nothing. Why? The government should lie. Why?
More complaints continue to emerge from the different segments of the society about the high economic conditions that Liberians are encountering on a daily basis. Tonight we want to talk to Liberians, those of you in the communities. Let's talk to you. Let's have a conversation about your living condition. Tell us what you're going through. Whether it is the issue of transportation fare, whether it's the issue of driver license or vehicle registration documentations that you have to go through the hurdles and the high cost attached to it. It is possible you are a farmer and you are experiencing difficulties to get the produce from your farms to the markets. It is also possible that those of you who worked in the medical field, those of you in the classrooms, the civil servants, you may be concerned about your salary structure of late. Those are the different challenges confronting Liberians, even those of you who use the canoes to fishing. We are interested in knowing what you're going through.
Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation. You got nothing to.
I am not going to ask you whether the UP government is improving or doing well for you, but we want to hear from you yourself. And so we will open the telephone lines shortly to talk to you. So now we are talking less, and then we are giving you the chance to talk more tonight. But we will set the basis. And you will be allowed to join us when we open the telephone lines to talk to us. We will touch on tonight something that has to do with the Ministry of Labor, about some wage issue and all of that. We heard that it is being reported that the Minister of Labor made a pronouncement today, whether it's a pronouncement or an instruction to the Liberia Agriculture Company. The Junkins Morris has the detail of that.
Indeed, and now you need to deceive us.
Today, the civil service bus was booed at the Ministry of Transport. Obviously, we will go into that. Just other important issues to talk about tonight. My name is Austin Kawa. Today is the 3rd day of March. Barcelona game is on. They are going against Atletico Madrid.
Why?
Junkins Morris is here. This show is proudly sponsored by Crime Stopper Liberia. Very shortly, we'll take a break to take a few words from our sponsor and our partners. Win Liberia, Crime Stopper Liberia, Bogon Jide Group of companies. They are all proudly affiliating with us here on Freedom Hard Talk. Let's take these breaks. We'll come back. We welcome all of you joining us and we'll move into our discussion. Stick and stay. Don't go away. This break.
My brother, God can bless anybody.
Win big today with Win Liberia on Freedom FM. Yes, for just $100 Liberian or 50 cent United States dollars, you can win from 4,000 Liberian dollars up to 10,000 Liberian dollars. And for 200 Liberian dollars or $1 United States dollar on Japa days, you can win from 15,000 Liberian dollars, 50,000 Liberian dollars, 100,000 Liberian dollars, and up to 1 million Liberian dollars. For these amazing prizes, dial *255*1#. Again, dial *255*1#. The more you play, the better your chances. It's Win Liberia Cash Giveaway on Freedom FM.
Yo, hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to stop the surge of vigilante-style justice in this country, none of us will be safe. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we have seen in recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. This is Old Man Sam Sion, your community crime fighting partner. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Sion.
We want peace in Liberia. Peace in Monrovia. We want peace in Liberia. We want peace in Liberia.
Are you seeking financial empowerment? Dreaming of building your future? Then your solution is Bokonjide Group of Companies. Bokonjide, your trusted partner in microfinance, construction, and general services. We provide microfinance for many institutions like House of Representatives, the Liberian Senate, National Port Authority, Governance Commission, LRA, Gender Ministry, Corporate Development Authority, GAC, and Auto Lines Ministry and Agency, with a percentage range from 15% to 20%. At Bokonjide, we understand your aspiration, your goals, and your dreams. That's why we offer tailored microfinance solutions designed to uplift individuals and communities alike. Whether you are an entrepreneur with a vision or a family aiming for a better tomorrow, our microfinance services pave the way to financial independence. But that's not all. Bokonjide Group of Companies doesn't just stop at microfinance. Our expert construction team brings your architecture dreams to life. From residential to commercial projects, we craft spaces that inspire, innovate, and endure. And when it comes to general services, Bokonjide is your one-stop destination. From facility management to logistics, we ensure seamless operation every step of the way. With our apartment rental and furnished apartment for long and short-term stay, you will enjoy the luxury of comfort. Join the thousands who have entrusted their dreams to Bokonjide. Experience unmatched professionalism, dedication, and integrity. With Bokonjide Group of Companies, your success is not just a goal, it's our mission. Visit our Capitol Building office or find us in the Royal Garden Plaza on Crown Hill Broad Street or call today 0770-520-958 or 0777-017-603 or 086-622-599 or email Bokonjide Group of Companies at gmail.com. Bokonjide Group of Companies, microfinance, construction, general services, your partner in progress. New Day, do something.
Welcome back to Hard Talk on Freedom FM 87.9. We are back again on this cool Tuesday evening. Austin Kawa, Junkies Morris, we are here to bring to you your fascinating show, Freedom Hard Talk, here on Freedom FM 87.9. And we want to say thanks to our many followers. Thanks for keeping us in your minds. Thanks for following us. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for commenting. And we want to say thanks to all of our many listeners in Radio Land. Whether you are in the diaspora or you are in Liberia, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone following the broadcast. This is Freedom Hard Talk. We will quickly go to our comments session to bring you those that are following us via the social media. Freedom Heart Talk on Freedom FM 87.9. We got Jared Roland Va. Jared Roland Va is following us. Sastan TV also watching from Sastan, Grand Creek County. Vinicius Bar Jr. is watching. Vinicius Bar Jr. is watching. Augustine T. Musa is also watching. Mailu F. Ofana is watching. Willen W. Wulu is watching us from Caldwell. Melvin Nathaniel Roosevelt is watching from Morovia. Chris Waller is also watching from district number 11. Informed Librarian today is also following shoes. Okay, shoe senator. Okay, Daniel Koluba is following us. Saturday Zawia Wondwe is following us. Dubon Hill is also following us. Paul S. Jasper following us. K. Randall Willer. J. Augustus Help is following us from Snapper Hill. Favor L. Morris is following from the United States of America, or maybe she's in Great Britain or so. We can't tell until she authenticate that. We got Boyma Obento Katie is also following. Honorable J.D. Williams is here following us. Man Sarah Son is on our back, watching us from Samoka Town, Graceland Community. Marcus Jida is following us. Marcus Jida is following us. Mawata Ability is also here on our back. Jerison B. Tokpa is here following from district number 2, Montserrat County. Emmanuel Brewer is following from Minneapolis, Minnesota, the United States of America. Cities Geeks following. Alaska Pay. Christian Chia is also following. Asata M. Miller is following us from Soul Clinic. Stephen Fowler Jr. is following from Gandalfsville Chicken Soup Factory. Martina Bonda is also following from Pennsylvania, the United States of America. Michael J. Momo is here following from Firestone, Margaby County. I want to say thanks to all of you for following. Keep sharing our live Facebook page. Keep commenting and keep watching us. Keep following. This is Freedom Heart Talk. Ralph Cooper also joined us. He just joined us from Denver, Colorado, the United States of America. And we want to say to all our listeners in Radio Land, to our security apparatus, those that are fighting to make sure that Liberia is safe, Liberia is better. We want to say welcome to the show. This is your show. Like Austin said, today it promises to be fascinating. We will chip in on the Ministry of Labor. There are some development coming from the Ministry of Labor. Austin also said to you, I want to remind you that we will not be doing much talking tonight. Much of the broadcast will be turned over to you to place in your call to burst out those things that may be in my mind referred to as grievances, so that at least once you express them, there can be some level of relief in your mind and your heart can calm. So tonight is yours. But we will be discussing the Ministry of Labor in brief. Also, the Supreme Court mandate that they gave in terms of depriving the former Minister of Finance and other people that were accused. The Supreme Court had already turned that over, and the court responsible to reclaim the case had already done that. Criminal Court C. That is a case involving former Minister Samuel Toy. And there are other trending issues to be discussed. So we'll take a quick break, and when we are back, we'll run you through our talking points.
Yo, hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to serve the source of vigilante justice in this country, none of us will be safe. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we have seen in recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. This is Old Man Sam Sion, your community crime fighting partner. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Sion.
So that was Old Man Sam Sion, somebody remarkable in fighting crime, mob violence, educating our people on civilization in terms of regarding the rule of law and playing by the guardrail of the laws. The law is the law. We want to say kudos to Old Man Sam Sion. Crime Stopper is a proud sponsor of this program, Freedom Hard Talk. We are in partnership with Bokon Jide Group of Company. And like we're saying, we are back. And we will start with the situation at the Ministry of Transport today. Hey, you know, people say when baboon ready to die, it can't hear a whistle. What we witnessed today, we heard from the Ministry of Transport, in my mind, is troubling. It's troubling. The government is going against itself. It's troubling. The government decide or have decided to turn over specific responsibilities previously handled by the Ministry of Transport to a company which signed a concession agreement with the Republic of Liberia. The government decided to do that in line with the concession agreement that provides for that company, that is the Liberia Traffic Management, LMTM, let's say LTM. It's a company that signed a concession agreement with the government of the Republic of Liberia. And on that note, it is a company that is entitled to her concession rights. That's why the same government that established the Ministry of Transport decided to divulge that particular responsibility upon the Liberia Traffic Management and take it from the Ministry of Transport. So I don't see where there should be issues. So people going to protest, I don't know why they're going to protest for, because those monies collected from the issue of traffic management under the Ministry of Transport at the time, when it released license plates, driver licenses, registering your car, annual registration, to make sure that your car is duly registered by the Ministry of Transport. All of those responsibilities, if they are given to this entity that signed a concession agreement with the government of Liberia, what is the issue? They are reducing the burden on the Ministry of Transport. The Ministry of Transport budget was not cut. In fact, the last time I checked, it was increased. It was not cut. So the Ministry of Transport was just being helped through another means, at least to reduce and ease the kind of pressure that was on the Ministry of Transport, for which they instituted the measure that brought in expediters in making sure people documents are expedited. So the Ministry of Transport now will be responsible for a minute portion of what they used to be responsible for before, which was burdensome. This time around, it will be less burden. It will be a less burden on them. So what is the issue? Who are those crying foul? Who are those complaining? Who are those protesting? What is the intent of the protest? Why are they protesting? What do they want for which they are protesting? And what did they expect for which they are protesting? Because if somebody goes to register their car, that money goes to government coffers. There's no need that Junkies Morris or Austin Kawa grieve over that money. Even if we were opportune or privileged to be in a collectorate department in making sure we collect those taxes in the interest of the government, it will not be for our personal use. It's going in the coffers of the government. So it is the same government that decided to take that responsibility, confer it on another person who in their mind will be much more effective and proficient in terms of service delivery. What is the issue? The same revenue, the possibility even exists that the revenue could even be expanded. The revenue generation from that aspect of the Ministry of Transport that have been turned over now based on the concession agreement to the LTM, which is the Liberia Traffic Management. Honestly, it is a very helpful venture. It is a very helpful venture. They will be remitting collections to the government as required by law, as required in the concession agreement. So no issue. No issue. If the Unity Party government gave people jobs, there should be no reason why expeditors who are not legitimately employed with the Ministry of Transport will be crying foul and be protesting around the place and people creating unnecessary scenes. There's no need for that. There's no need for that. There's a concession agreement in place between the government of Liberia and the Liberia Traffic Management. That is clear. And until that concession agreement can be amended or ratified or adjustments can be made in it, it remains as it is. There is no individual that should think that they are above such concession. No individual should think that way. The LTM signed a concession agreement with the government of Liberia to take charge of mainly or particularly these three aspects: the issuance of license plates, driver licenses, and the registration of vehicles. The people don't go and hijack that process. They did not hijack that process. That process, they went through that process fairly according to our laws, and those institutions responsible to grant legal authority to their concession, they sanction it. So there's no issue. There's no issue. Why will we be protesting around the place? Protesting on what basis? Protesting on what basis? You said salaries were being harmonized. So on that basis, you were going to harmonize votes, and you did that. Good to your voice. So no issues. There are no issues. You said salary was low. You say your salary was low. So the best way you people could protest was to harmonize some people vote according to you. And you make the decision. So the people who votes your standardized and harmonize the other person's vote, they're in charge now. What the issue now? I thought everything should be roses. I thought we should be laying back in our couches, drinking lemonade and just relax. And there should be no need for anybody to complain, for there to be hunger. There should be no need for mentally deranged people to be permeating the streets of our capital. There will be no need for the kids to be selling sugarcane between vehicles while their mates are in school. There will be no need for our young girls to end their numbers. In fact, to the extent that they have overcrowded the streets on the basis of selling themselves just to get ends meet. There will be no need for that. There will be no need for Zogos, because the government now, that you people that protested through your votes, that somebody harmonized their salary, so you harmonize that person's vote, and somebody is coming to standardize their salary, you standardize their vote. The role on the matter of the government was at the time encouraging young people to be engaged with drug taking, to the extent that they used the kush taking the young people are involved with. They use that as a campaign message, as a campaign tool against the sitting government at the time to win election. So there should be no Zogos. Center Street should not have Zogos. No. Water Street should not have Zogos. Randall Street should not have Zogos. In fact, the young people now, they are sleeping on the streets and they do their smoking on the streets. Brush screen and all. If you live anywhere close to town, just do your scenic patrol in the night and see the young people on the streets of Monrovia, the capital city of our republic, smoking drugs on the street, on the main street, in the day, in the night. But I thought the people who said they were going to erase drug taking and our country was going to come back to sobriety. I thought that ain't power. I thought that ain't power. And the Ministry of Transport, you tell me why you're protesting for? The workers at the Ministry of Transport. What is the issue? Yeah, can we know what are the issues? What are the issues? Why are you people protesting for? Eh? One guy text me the message. Many people coming close are eating more. Eating more? Look, this country will have to be serious if we must move as a country. We as Liberians must understand that we have to be serious. I am not angry with protestation against this failed and reckless government that is not doing things in the interest of the people, that is not even concerned about the lives of our citizens. I am not angry with those that are protesting. I am saying the opportunity was available and is always available for good decisions to be made in the interest of our country for our march. But we always choose personal achievements, personal gains, self-aggrandizement, and our pleasure and happiness over national interest, forgetting to know that if Liberia gets better, automatically our lives will be better, because we are the Liberians that make up Liberia. So why should we be taking here, there, be scheming on our own country? Why? Why should we do that? Why should we do that? The people protesting at the Ministry of Transport may have legitimate claim, but I disagree, because these were the same people that were chanting slogans yesterday saying, you harmonize my vote, you harmonize my salary, I will harmonize your vote, on the basis of hate. So the people who came to make it better, they are in power now. There's no need for haulings and pullings. Everything's ought to be smooth. That is my point. Simeon, so maybe you are not understanding me. That is my point. My point is, the same people who say, law, 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 I think people saying, crucify, crucify. We should not keep running Liberia like this. Let's be honest to ourselves, so Liberia move forward. So quickly, we jump to the next issue that has to do with, Austin just joined me. We'll get to the next issue that has to do with the Ministry of Labor. The Ministry of Labor, and then we can go to other issue and take course. Austin, the Ministry of Labor.
But back to this transport issue.
Yeah. You want to make some emphasis, okay?
It's a delicate issue that we have to take extremely serious. And at times, it beats my understanding, about what do we vote? And why do we risk our lives and invest our energy and our time to support these deceptive politicians? I remember Joe Braga telling the public, his supporters particularly, that they gave a men's job to a boy, and that where 5 persons were supposed to be, you now have 200 persons there doing the job, and all of that. And part of the places where 5 persons were supposed to be, and you have 50 persons in that department, was the Ministry of Transport. Mm-hmm. The Ministry of Transport had those expediters not officially recognized by the ministry, but they were embraced to do job, to hustle. The ministry has the department that is responsible to, they call it motor vehicle department.
Yeah, the motor
responsible to register your vehicles, mm-hmm. Do your driver licenses and all of that. There were people in that department working. So when the ministry announced that when you pay for your driver license today, we will give you your driver license within 48 hours or 24 hours. That was because of those people who were in those departments, particularly the ministry, the vehicle registration department, working overtime overnight to ensure that you receive your driver license within the stipulated 24 hours after payment officially through the LRA system. They were not there playing, but Joe Barker told all of you, including some of you on the videos that we're about to play, that you did not belong there. And you did not see any stupidity in what he was telling you then. You thought he was making sense that, oh, those places where 5 persons are supposed to be, you have 2,500 persons working there. When we take over, we will call that off. He was not referring to George Weah jobs.
Oh.
He was not referring to George Weah food he eat to your house. He was not referring to Joel Taylor clothes she wear. He was not telling you that they were on sick George Weah and Joel Taylor and they will not be able to afford food and clothes to wear again and eat. No, that's not what he was telling you. If that's how you understood Joe Barker's message then, that when he takes over, he's going to cut the government down, and places where people are too many, he's going to call it off. Maybe, probably you understood then that he was referring to what George Weah is after he leaves the presidency and what Joel is after she leaves the vice presidency. But he was referring to your jobs. And guess what? We told him. That's why at times, I mean, I think I want to get TV days on the radio set because at times, I mean, you place us in a position to keep reminding you about these things. We told you all these things. We did our best to interpret every single word or every single policies that was issued by Joe Barker and his Unity Party. We did our best to interpret. You called it propaganda then. Today, the truth is settling down in your throat. Then you say you want to protest against something we elected you about. No, the protest is not justified. Tonight, I stand on the side of Joe Barker in the UP government. This is what they promised you.
Yes.
You are not being fair to Joe Barker. Those of you at the Ministry of Transport who protested today, whether you voted against Barker or you voted for Barker, those of you who are being affected today by the action of the UP, you guys are not being fair to Joe Barker and the ruling party because they told you they were going to cut those things down. They didn't lie to you on this one. If Barker dismisses you tomorrow, he not lie to you. He told you you're going to dismiss you.
He told you.
But you thought the dismissal was not going to target Seditians. There was a time for Seditians to get dismissed. Seditians have been dismissed for the last 2 years. They have already adjusted to the system. They are moving on with their lives. They are eating a dry rice in Memwe, in Bugakre, not complaining anymore to anybody.
No.
You don't see them in the morning. They wake up in the morning and go to George Weah's house to harass him for burger or morning to buy soup to eat that rice or burger wheat. George Weah is living in peace. His people, his citizens, his supporters are not harassing him. Joel is living in peace. Unfortunately, she's mourning now because of the loss of her son. But yes, you see nobody going to her house harassing her for anything. They are living their lives. They were just 2 hairs of the system elected at that time to serve. They were not your problem. You allowed the UP folks to make it to look like they were your problem. Salif Talon was Deputy Minister for Administration and Insurance at the Ministry of Transport under George Weah government for 6 unbroken years. He was Deputy Minister to Semuru.
Yeah.
The current Minister of Transport was let me repeat. Maybe some of you do not know. The man who now sits as the Minister of Transport was in George Weah government. He worked in the CDC government for 6 years as the Deputy Minister for Administration. He and I used to be friends. I don't know whether he's still my friend anymore. because we've not seen or spoken for long. So I know it like that he was deputy minister for administration for 6 years under George Weah government. Under George Weah's government. Today, he is the minister of transport. There is nothing that you guys are protesting against today that Sheriff Taylor is not in the know of. There's nothing. So you don't make this thing to look like Sheriff Taylor is new to the government. He's new to the Ministry of Transport. He's not new. He may have his own disagreement with the arrangement or the manner in which the government wants to scrape off the authority of the Ministry of Transport, which I could agree with in some sense or on some note. But the bottom line here is that those of you crying have got no reason, no significant reason to cry, because you are you should be aware that these things were coming your way, because they told you. Come today, see all of you running around. Oh, let me play your recording. And I'm talking about Josiah Joker being boom. Let me play your recording. Chai just posted this. He said that, hey man, we were a long post, so I want to read what he wrote. There's a reason why I want to read what he wrote. Charles Yes is a supporter of the Unity Party. He's one of those who supported the Unity Party. Yeah? One of those who supported the Unity Party. Open your bar. Okay. I want to read. I'm going to read what he wrote a few minutes ago. 23 minutes ago. He said, today I watched my mother, who is an employee of the Ministry of Transport. I'll play the video after reading what he wrote. Charles Yes is a good friend to us and a supporter of the UP. He campaigned against the CDC. He said, today I watched my mother, who is an employee of the Ministry of Transport, in a very distressed mood. My mom, who is a strong supporter of the rescue government job, is on the line. I remember how she campaigned for the Unity Party in 2023, and she formed part of every protest that were organized against the CDC government at the time, even though she was an employee of the government, civil servant. Charles Yes is telling you and ourselves here that his man was working at the Ministry of Transport under George Weah government, in George Weah's government as a civil servant, but she was part of all of the protests that were organized and held against the CDC government. She will leave her job, she go protest. She will leave her job, she protests against CDC government, the government she worked in. Wow, she was a civil servant. Cover. Nobody harassed her one day. Nobody dismissed her. Nobody suspended her. Nobody insulted her. Nobody targeted her position. He goes further to say, my mom has been with the Ministry of Transport for over 13 years since Ellen Johnson Sirleaf regime. A strong and devoted civil servant. She never missed work, and all ministers that have served the Ministry of Transport had always admired and loved her devotion to her job. today's protest at the MOT against the Liberia traffic management deal, in parentheses, which is a very bad deal, he believes. It's a very bad deal. By employees of the ministry shows that the UP government is losing its people. I saw frustration, regrets, and disappointments in my dear mother today. Seeing a government that she supported taking bread from her mouth is so painful, and it has broken me down deeply with serious regret. With serious regret also. God will hear the cries of the oppressed and give them justice. God will hear. He's still writing. I'm talking about Charles. Yes, still talking. God will hear the cries of the oppressed and give them justice. This yes, brother believes that his mother, along with other transport ministry officials, are being oppressed by the oppressors that is supported in 2023 against the Buga dancer, Josh Weah. Those who were oppressed yesterday are today's oppressors. But time will tell. Mom, don't worry. God is on you. God is on you people's side. And the wicked will be served very soon. Listen to the video. Let me play you her video. Let me play you her video that her son posted. Oh, Jesus. Let me play you. So the journalist interrupted her and asked her, "You voted for them?" This is the response. Look at her phone. She got me less.
Yeah, she got me less.
You voted for them. The minister is saying that this will not affect your job. You guys will continue. To stop you from working? So, how long you been in the ministry? 30 years. 30 years. And this is the first of it kind for you seeing. You said don't minister right now? No, I mean, you guys met for him for this past. We saw the minister come for him was speed. We saw the minister come. Did he say that to you? So 1 or 2 is here. So you asking for the leadership? 1 or 2 is here. To mean the leadership of transport.
Okay. So So you listen to her. This morning, I got a call and from an employee at the Ministry of Transport. It said, Austin, you have to send reporters here because ERU officers are here. And the employees are protesting this morning. They are about to protest, and ERU officers are here. So I know there might be casualties, and I want you to be here to capture everything. Then I placed a call to Gerald Morris and told him to go at the Ministry of Transport and make sure he captures some scenes and everything. And then after 30 minutes, I got a call from another employee that the civil service boss was on the ground and that he's threatening to dismiss civil servants and all of that because they are protesting during working hour. And then I got a tear call from an assistant director who said that if care is not taken, there may be mass dismissal or redundancy at the Ministry of Transport because the department we're talking about is the largest department at the Ministry of Transport. That's the largest department in terms of human capacity personnel at the Ministry of Transport. So if care is not taken, many persons might lose their jobs. And it could affect other departments because the departments that are interrelated, for example, there should be an insurance. The Ministry of Transport does insurance supervision. Okay, so that department is also there. I think it's supposed to be under the ministry, the Deputy Minister for Administration and Insurance. Yeah, there is the entire motor vehicle session. Damn. So once you lay off, you shutting down that session, all of departments are going to be rendered irrelevant. So also you got to talk. Then I said, Chief, talk what? For who? For whom do we talk or should we talk? What are we going to say? Because he is a unity partisan, he got angry, my man, you do politics with everything. I said, no, bro. Yeah, I won't get politics now. Let's talk. We're not going to talk. Okay, tell me what didn't happen. Let me go talk. And you want me to give you information as you see. You won't give me information. You want me to go talk. But the point I'm making is that fellow I'm talking about was one of those leading most of the protests at for the Unity Party. This is someone I've known for over 13 to 14 years. I'm talking about outside government, and he has spent his entire life at that Ministry of Transport. The person I'm talking about. The only government job he knows is the Ministry of Transport. He rose through the ranks of the Ministry of Transport. Today, he's director and final assistant director. Okay. He's director. A Unity Party, somebody who was an executive member of the Unity Party and still an executive member of the UP. They are angry today because their jobs are being threatened. So they need to protest. It's only good to protest when your job is threatened. Yeah. When your safety is under threat.
When it's a direct threat.
And they have all right to protest because that is a constitutional mandate requirement. Mm-hmm. When Molu and others decided to organize protests in this country against the UP government, those very people at the Ministry of Transport were saying, oh, they want to bring the government down, they want to do this, they own the money, paper, they own the money this, why they want to show themselves and everything. Some of them say that because they didn't get a job, they're not empowered, that's why they're protesting. So you see today,
the time they were there, they do it.
Yes. Today, now you were against protest yesterday. Today you are protesting now because your job is under threat. But you were lambasting others, criticizing others, calling it because they didn't get a job. I thought not having job is good. It's a good thing. That nobody is supposed to protest or contest. The government's responsibility is to ensure that our citizens can have comfort, live in comfort. And when you're looking for comfort, jobs. You're talking job creation. You're talking shelter. You're talking safe drinking water. You're talking good healthcare condition. You're talking quality education and affordable. Those are things that give people, the citizens, comfort.
And a job can bring a pecunia.
Yes.
To those things.
So anybody whose job is threatened, anybody who is unemployed, that person will definitely join any uprising or anything that is intended to make your government unpopular. In some cases, it leads to war. When people's lives, people's survival, people's existence feels threatened, it leads to war in other countries. You think America and Israel and Iran are fighting today? What do you think they're fighting war for? Why do you think they're fighting war? Today, Israel and Iran and the US, they are at war because they are existing. They believe that their existence is under threat. They're not fighting because they just want to fight war.
No.
They are not fighting because they want to fight war. They are fighting war because they believe that their existence is under threat. One side is threatening to
obliterate and annihilate the other one.
So if the US say that, for example, say, I didn't even know we'll go. Say, somebody, one country saying, the other country saying, we can weapon of mass destruction. We're going to eliminate. We're going to eliminate Banandi. That means that some country we can't get involved with that discussion. Eh? So we're going to eliminate Banandi. Then Banandi president in hearing you. We have to assess the people capacity. To be talking about eliminating another country, I mean, the lives of the citizens of that country are under threat. And from all indications, when they see multiple attempts to eliminate you, think you say that you will not go to war, you will go to war. So people are not fighting war because they just want to fight war. People's safety, people's properties, people's lives, people's existence are threatened by another power. Today, these folks at the Ministry of Transport, their lives are threatened because when they can't get job to work, how do they survive? Their dignity, the dignity of man is also under threat. Because imagine in the morning you getting up, watch a little Corolla or wear a present fan suit, you dress, go to work, and then you looking neat, speak and span everything. You go into work in the morning, people seem to have respect for you because when you work in the community, your dignity, your prestige increase. When you're not working in the morning, you home laying down sleeping, you in the yard passing around, who's going to respect you? It means it's going to reduce your dignity, your prestige. When you're working, your prestige increases. So those people you see protesting today, their dignity
is at stake.
It's a stake. Their survival is under threat. Then you say, don't protest. But we'll tell you, don't protest. Because why? Your survival was being threatened ever since when Boubacar made pronouncement that he was going to cut it off. You didn't take it serious. We told you Boubacar didn't care for you. Boubacar wanted position. Boubacar wanted to be rescued. He was sick. He was broke. This was a broke old man.
Very, very broke.
Who publicly told you he was living on loan to survive and feed Katumu Boubacar.
Yeah, he was broke.
Liberia has the most illiterate voting population in the world. I've not done any survey, but from the way we make decisions, I can tell you that Liberia has the most illiterate voting population. I say the most illiterate population. I'm saying Liberia has the most. I believe that Liberia has the most illiterate population in the world, voting population in the world. That a political leader, a head of a political party who wants to be president, who wants to lead you, who wants to guide you, who wants to provide leadership for you, who wants to provide guidance for you, comes to you publicly and tells you that he got nothing. He's broke. He's living on loan. And your best reasoning tells you I mean, your best reasoning could not tell you that this man is not coming to rescue us.
And cannot be trusted.
He's come here to be rescued. And this is not the quality of a leadership that we should trust. How can you build your trust for governance reform? How can you build your trust, your reliance to grow economically? How can you rest your expectation for jobs, for quality education, for good roads, for good healthcare delivery? That reliance, you build that reliance on a man that he himself was sick and could not treat himself. A man who was sick and could not even treat himself told you, vote me. I will change your life, your living condition. I will give you affordable health care. I will give you quality and affordable education. You listen to him and believe him. But that do with Joe Burger now. I got nothing to do with Joe Burger. I want our women to live and govern in peace. That's why you see, and the other year I announced that I'm shifting my conversation to sector heads. I got nothing to do with Joe Burger. That man is president for 6 years. We like it, we not like it. That all busy. Nothing can change. He's president for 6 years. All we can do is checkmate checkmate the performance of those who he has appointed to aid him in the governance process. But you can get nothing. A thing you can get out of Joe Parker. The old man's mind is sick, it's weak, it's lazy. Joe Parker does not have, he's not in a better mental, a reasonable mental state to understand what's happening around him, to effectively coordinate governance in our country. They make it not even sit down to read one paper and comprehend that thing, and tomorrow morning waking up and he remembers it. These are not new things we're saying to you, these are old things. We told you a man with such a posture, a man with such a character, a man with such a mindset will be easily manipulated by the people around him when it comes to making decisions. He will not be the one making decisions. He will be in a chair and people will be making decisions. Liman Bowie used the word Humpty Dumpty one time, and the UP folks were insulting her. And I sat on the same radio behind these microphones and told you, Joe Barker was a real Humpty Dumpty. If you don't know what Humpty Dumpty is, just go to YouTube and dead Humpty Dumpty. And see what it is.
Sitting there, other people calling the shots.
People using Tenso, go so
stoosh.
Yeah, that's what Humpty Dumpty. We told you, Joe, but that's the kind of president you were electing. But some of you did not listen. You didn't listen. And you thought we just hated Bwaka. Today, you say, oh, you got a tough or you got a flag. Flag what? The entire communications department at the Ministry of Transport has been instructed not to speak to anybody, not to even say anything to anybody. I do not have any issue with traffic management. I can say that, Junkies. Personally, I don't have any issue with traffic management. I don't know them. What should I hate them for? I don't have issue with the minute with Joy Booty's MCMD. I don't know MCMD or MDMC. I don't have any issue with that. My issue is the manner and form in which the government wants to terminate a contract that was legally entered into by two people, the government and MDMC. If you believe that the man's capacity or the company's capacity to perform the job is weaker, you go back to the drawing board. But you can't terminate the contract on administrative reasons or administrative grounds. He has not proven, there's no record to prove that the man failed your performance appraisal. You can just walk up from the blue sky and say you're going to appraise MDMC. Who does the appraisal? Who complains? Is there a complainant? Did anybody complain that they didn't get driver license or whatsoever? With the man the company tending to expire and renegotiate the terms or hire a different company to do the job. Or this with the Ministry of Transport people and things and say, "Mama, we want to outsource the entire department to a private company," which should not be a bad thing. I mean, outsource the department and then transfer all the staff to put it in the agreement, the concession agreement.
So the new
yes. If there are 30 employees in a department,
yeah,
say we retain, the ministry will retain 10% to do compliance.
Yeah, the 20%.
Because there has to be a regulator. So if you want the Ministry of Transport to regulate the activity of the traffic management, good. Especially if you go registration issue and driver license. So leave maybe 5% there or 7% there for compliance issue to be reviewing, maybe quality issue, all the kind of stuff, and then make sure they're in compliance with your standard for driver license and for license plate, and then you can pass. There will be a compliance. We say compliance. The remaining 25 employees transfer all and indicate in the contract that they will as part of the terms that those employees will be transferred to the LTM. How is that so difficult for the government to do? And I mean, little things that we can solve, little problems that we can just solve as a country. We make it look complicated because everybody open his or her arms and wants to show power and influence and connection to the presidency. What kind of nonsense country is this? Nonsense country, nonsense voters, nonsense government officials. What is this? What is this? We don't show to people that we are a group of responsible and civilized people, that we know how to do things structurally and decisively within the interest of the people that elected us, that voted us. We ignore their interest. And we open our arms and say, we're big boss. I'm not in sympathy with transport ministry employees who will cry. I'm not sharing any empathy with them. No. I vote on quality for reason. This would not have been George Weah. One intervention, he was going to listen. Because why? It put us on the living condition of the people, ordinary people that voted for him. George Weah has always been concerned. Those of us who sit to him regularly to have conversation, we know what comes from his mind. We know what comes from his heart. We know what he says, what he cares about. I've never sat with George Weah before in my life where I hear him talking about car, talking about luxury. I've never. Jenkins. And even ask those around him. You will never hear George Weah sitting down and lecturing about luxury. Never. Never. All his conversation. I think all his conversations that I've sat in with him have always been about Liberia, the citizens. Liberia, the citizens. Liberia, the citizens. That his mind, his heart. So anything that seems to threaten the existence or the survival or the comfort of Liberians, George Weah will not put inside. That's why when people say, "Oh, the man, he's scared, he's scared." These are some of the reasons why people say he's scared, because George Weah will not tell you go protest. And you see police officer there, we're ready to shoot. They say stand there.
It's not part of George Weah.
Because it's going to undermine your life. It's going to threaten your life. So he will not support it. Nothing. He's not perfect. He's not clean. He's not a saint. But he has a heart strictly driven towards humanitarianism. Strictly driven towards humanitarianism. That's why he practices. That's why he lives. You think we could now have said, let's lay off people? Somebody can take two policies and place it behind him. This is, we get 30,000 human working here, 10,000 person making at least $5,000 each. 15,000 person making below $700. Mr. President, we able to reduce people making 5,000 to at least 3,000. Structure a salary that will make 3,000. The banner money taking and spread across the people here, clear salary up. So for 10 or the 35,000 people, 10,000 person salary will come down from 5,000 to 3,000, and then the around 15,000 persons who making 700, their salaries will be able to go up from 300 to 500, from 500 to 700, from 700 to 1,000. Harmonization. That idea rested before George Weah, but that good idea.
It will help our people.
Because it's in the interest of the people. The elites are still making more than you, the ordinary people, even with harmonization. You still making, some of you still taking 175, 150. The people who were crying the harmonization bad, the elite, the intellectual class, because they were the ones who were affected. They're not ordinary. They were the ones affected, the directors, the assistant, the managers. They were the ones affected. So they were the ones crying intellectual lasting harmonization. Today, they are still struggling to put their salary back to where it was before harmonization. They can't start with you. They say they go to the court. They say the lawyers and judges' money gone back. Yeah. Why you put the civil servant money back for before going to the lawyers and judges?
Yeah. And not the civil servant you're campaigning with.
The civil servants who were crying that their salaries were small and harmonized, which was not true. Today, for the government to put that money back, the CSA say, oh, the federal minister say, oh, we return with the judges and associate justices, we return our salaries to pre-harmonization. So what's about the civil servants? Why you couldn't start from down the civil servants before reaching to those whose salaries are already up there? The judges make more than 5 times. In some cases, 10 times more than the ordinary sheriff. Why you don't start with the sheriff? The security guard. You go way to the associate justices and judges. That's serious people you're talking about. These are the people you take serious. It's all about their stomachs. It's not about you. The moment some of you United Party people will begin to understand that UP comes to power, they will give some of you jobs. Don't get it wrong. Some of you will get a job. But what kind of job will they give you? UP will start employing from the top. Down. How UP can start employing. UP comes to power, they will start employing from the top. Then they come down. And that top I'm talking about are the party structure. They will start employing from the party structure up there. Then they come down. They will structure that job in a way, say, these jobs are available for all youth chairpersons. These jobs are available for all county chairpersons. These jobs are available for all, maybe the deputy county, the county chairperson when they give it to the vice chair. They place their leaderships into categories and assign jobs to them. They want to go. That's why you see most county chairpersons or their vice chairpersons are serving as superintendents across most rather because they left those jobs purposely for them. So superintendents and city mayors, most of the people you see occupying superintendent jobs and city mayor jobs in the different counties are United Party chairpersons. If they turn it down, we're giving first preference. If not, the vice chairs will take it. If the vice chair does not have job or is having job. So it depends on the structure. When we finish with that UP structure and county national structure, come way down to the zones before they get to you. When? So the remaining jobs now, the remaining spaces are given to that brother, sister, cousin, girlfriend, wife, husband, teenager, and different teenager. Then now they start looking for, see, that's why you saw they were chasing CDGs out. All the jobs CDGs have, they finished taking everything.
No, they take over.
Nobody chasing CDGs again. CDGs are relaxed now. Nobody chasing them. UP people still crying for a job.
Yeah, that trauma now is going
away. So CDGs occupying job was not the reason UP folks were not getting jobs. They took all the jobs from the UP for the CDC folks. Still UP folks are crying for jobs. Now it's embarrassing. Somebody just texted us that they want to meet with the lady who are in the video today crying and blah, blah, blah. They want to find a place to work your job. So they will start selecting now. You go, you cause now as a UP person, they handpick you, they go, they pluck you here. They handpick you, they pluck you here. But if she accepts job over her colleagues and leaving all of her colleagues It further confirms the deception
of
and selfishness
of Unity
of
Partisans.
Unity Partisans.
Because she's there protesting.
That's what
with them
it's
again.
about themselves. It's not about other people. It's not about other people junkies. So, I mean, y'all who are affected by the traffic management, you're sorry. Congratulations to you that the government you voted for. Again, nothing to do with that. If I will speak for anybody, it will be John Putin. If I will speak for anybody, I will be the traffic management people, telling them what to do. I think they need to sit down in an intersectoral management meeting and find a better way to handle this transition process, and all of that. Because it's not good for the government. You can, go back to the legislature, the Ministry of Transport. All those responsibilities were dedicated to that ministry by the legislature. So go back and amend the executive law, take that responsibility from transport, and then put it out for outsourcing. Tell me what to the police. The police can decide to outsource that particular session. But you can't just take it out like that because in an arrogant manner because you think you have power or connection or influence to the president. The president will not make any intervention, but he may not, because he doesn't even seem aware of what's happening. It's just being moved around and all of that. But it's a sad thing. But again, that's why you voted for. That's why you voted for it. That's what you get. You voted for it, you get. So we can do anything. Junkies, I think we can make we can transition to. You're talking about the quoting?
Yeah, the case.
The Ministry of Labor?
Yeah, I think the Ministry of Labor will just chip on.
Yeah, then we got one more people to call into 9. So let's chip in the Ministry of Labor thing. What really did they say?
Yeah, actually.
Is there an article that we can reference?
Yes. Under Chapter 5, Section 16.1a of the Laborers Decent Work Act, workers in formal concession areas are entitled to a minimum daily wage of US $5.50. However, investigators found that the workers were being paid US $3.80 per day. Contradiction to what Chapter 5, Section 16.1a states under the Laborers Decent Work Act or the Laborers Decent Work Law. Mr. Arthur Peters, who has supervised workers since 2019, was ordered to pay US $9,414.60 in back wages, while Mr. George B. Voswa, overseeing 326 workers since 2022, must pay US $9,705.92. Both were found to have underpaid workers for existed period. We are discussing lack. The Ministry of Labor has mandated its Grand Bassa Labor Commissioner to supervise full compliance and ensure timely compensation. Wow.
It's not making sense too much from what you read, but I think we need to have a conversation about that tomorrow.
Yeah, sure.
Because I think we can reach out to LAC also to get
so like we said, we'll just try to,
and probably we can get the Labor Ministry to provide further clarity on what we don't understand and all of that. Because I'm hearing that they're asking individuals who are making payments on behalf of the company to restitute.
It is on the basis that the company subcontracted those two individuals. Yeah.
So James and Austin and Khan Holdings.
Yes.
Company hired Jenkins Morris.
Yes.
And James Weir to serve or work for them as a contractor.
As a subcontractor.
So those contractors,
they hire their own contractors.
So after Khan and Austin company company hire you,
Mm-hmm.
you hire your own employees.
I hire my own employees.
Okay, so
And
when the money comes
when the
on
money
Karen
comes,
and Austin,
instead of giving them the $5,
1 million.
50
So when money comes on Karen and Austin,
Uh-huh.
we pay you for your service. You Jenkins now. We pay Jenkins for
Thank
your
you.
service. So we cannot do you Jenkins.
No,
Well, you pay the people or you pay the people that are paying because you hire them.
you hire them.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
the minister is saying, that under the law, it does not matter because the issue of compliance. Here, the minister says the investigation follow an assessment visit to the LAC concession in Grand Bassa, where workers complained they were earning below the statutory minimum, although LAC clarified that the affected workers were employed by independent subcontractors rather than the company itself. The ministry determined that outsourcing does not exempt employees from compliance with the law. So even if LAC is saying, if we want to hold that for a fact, still the ministry is saying whoever that was subcontracted is still not exempted from employers' compliance in line with the law. So that's what the ministry is saying. But we'll go in detail once we do all of our detailed fact-finding and investigation.
So we can take course,
I think
let's take course.
based on our promise that we want our people to have the day to express themselves.
So, folks, let's talk to you. Let's have a conversation with you. It's important. Your government, the folks, your colleagues at the Ministry of Transport are crying. Government is taking their jobs from them, taking bread from their table. I mean, what do you think? Joe, we are gone already. What do you think? They told you they agreed. Anything UP do, we agree. You know what they say? They say, oh, UP did, we agreed. Oh, Baga will not do that. We agree. Oh, Baga didn't do that. We agree. Oh, Baga not good. Oh, we agree. Oh, we agree. Oh, we agreed. So now they, they were agreeing with everything they were agreeing with. To that, do you think they should stay agreed? Those are the Ministry of Transport should stay agreed with the action by the government to terminate all transfer all the responsibilities from the Ministry of Transport that have to do with registering vehicles and issuing driver licenses. Do you agree, or do you think they should agree? It's time to say, well, we agreed or we not agreeing. Eh? We agreed or we not agreeing. Let's hear who are agreeing. 0776 0776 104 104 0886 500 104. Those are the numbers to call. Our WhatsApp line is active on +231 886 500 104. You agree for the ministry for the responsibilities of transport ministry to register driver, to register your vehicles and do your driver license. Do you agree that those responsibilities should be transferred from transport to LTM? Let's hear you. You agree or you not agree? You agree or you not agree?
I'm standing SK Dominic from Sugarcane Farm, County.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you see, the people from Ministry of Transport.
No, wait. Answer for whether you agree or you not agree. Then you make a point. Tell why you not agree or why you agree. So you agree or you not agree?
I not agree.
Tell why you not agree.
I not agree for the people at Ministry of Transport Ministry for them to demonstrate. Because the president already before he could get into power, he informed them that where they had two questions before, the former president was placing 5 to 10 questions there. And then when he get there, he will call them up. He he will call our number up. And before he could get into power, he told us that when they were in power doing everything, they squander our opportunity. Then, now, all these things they put hurry and they voted for him.
So you not agree for them to protest? So you not agree for them to protest?
I don't agree for them
Thank you.
to protest because
Thank
they
you.
are already well on it.
Thank you. Let's talk to somebody else. You agree or you not agree?
Yes, go. Yeah, but lower your radio or your monitor. Go ahead.
No, let's talk to somebody else.
This caller.
Hello?
Thank you.
I mean, yeah, put more laughing your voice. You agree? You agree or you not agree?
I agree.
Okay, tell us why you agree.
So I joined last year, man, concerning the contractor and subcontractor.
Okay.
But you know, other people don't understand about contractor and subcontractor. So, part of you, contractor like somebody when, like, for example, you get a contract, you hire me to work for you. I give a part of people to work.
No, we're talking about the Ministry of Transporting. Do you agree for the functions to register vehicle and issue driver license to be transferred from transport to LTM? You agree or you not agree?
I disagree.
Okay, tell us why you disagree. Okay, you're not supposed to tell why you disagree. You won't tell, you can tell, but you're not supposed to tell why. So let's talk to somebody else.
Yeah, hello, this caller.
Hello?
I'm calling from Broadview. My name is Berman P. Charlie.
Brahma, you agree or you not agree?
I'm not agree on one fact is that you see, every time we get prioritized in government entity, so you trying to get me the government to run the whole ministry. The normal people that come in with donors, the normal people that taking the telegram for the month. This country we were looking to this country and the right thing.
Thank you. So you not agree? That's
our brother and sister working over there. In case they're helping some people, helping people, the family. Then you say you want to prioritize the ministry. That's correct, enough.
Concept.
So I really don't inform them.
Okay, so my response to that is I do not agree.
Why?
A reason why I do not agree is that in the first place, the responsibilities being delegated to the Ministry of Transport are etched in the law that created that ministry. And if for those responsibilities to be taken from that ministry, there should be a repeal of the law creating the ministry. Besides that, I honestly see no reason why our Ministry of Transport, generating a little over $12 million per year, will be under this new arrangement, be reporting far less only because of a foreign concession. I just can't wrap my hands around that. And I think that law is not in the interest of the SWAT, it's not in the interest of the Liberian people or a handful few. And the lawmakers sitting up there on Capitol Hill needs to do something about it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. That man, a funny man. Let me call it. That man, a funny man.
A funny minute.
Go ahead. You agree or you not agree?
You getting me?
You are live. Loud too. Oh, hello. Good evening to you. You agree or you don't agree?
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, talking about Gabriel asking to Maurice, my greatest brother, too, for the effort you got always been with this. Secondly, I took out Rob, and I can only use this TV for our unknown destinations. To your question, for the asking, I call you, 100% agree in the constitution. As my budget left the landstead, if the constitution is governed by law, what are we building the law to the people state one? You don't want to make the man on the honor. You don't make sense to them.
Thank you, Puka Raos. Let's hear somebody else. Go ahead. We are doing great.
Yeah, Masisi. Welcome, General.
They told you, and you told us you agree with what that devil is coming. Don't go be the devil. Deal with the person you are with before. We told them, but they told we must say you're stupid. Young people are walking who waka. Told you. But the teacher said you told you, say what we have to my brother said, what we have to say, we are here for the bar. So we not need them. It's pocket. Is that we don't need all the people. All the people we don't need them, we'll put it down in the photo of yes and see. Why is it a prayer? I will tell you for the boy to see. You have for the 2 years, we agree. Never say the of but I guess everywhere y'all. One thing about you, you're in the jogging ball. I guess they agree to my protest. Protest in the city, me sorting up. Now, would I? What do you say to you? President, you're go there and go beat on there. They be talking over that. But anybody getting angry, let's go whip them with that.
Thank you, Masisi. Thank you.
Hello?
Yeah, hello. Your name and where are you joining us from?
My name is Brana Taylor. Bramo 1.
Yeah, go ahead.
Calling from Grandpa Party.
You agree or you agree?
For me, I disagree. You know why?
No.
They had a foreign, the lion inside, and they passed law that are foreign. Nobody should enter there. When you enter there, the lion will eat you up. So I will take my children and enter that forest. And you take your children and enter there. The lion grab too. Then you come in the town to look for hunter to follow you to go there. If I'm hunter, I will not follow you. Because the lion already tell you that when you come to me, I will hear your children. They say, yes, I will do it. That's why I'm thinking with the government. The man now hiding from people, he told them. Yeah, he told them, sit on planet earlier. And God said, when you follow Satan, you go to hell. You will follow Satan. So you follow Satan, Satan will deal with you.
So it's a matter of choice.
Yeah.
Thank you. We leave you and go to line 1. This call. Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah, Austin and Junkies here.
Yeah, Austin, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, Austin. This is Laman Town. I'm calling from Kawa.
Okay, let's hear you.
Yeah, Austin, sometimes we want to defend the people, but then the people too to defend it too hard. Austin, when the people yesterday, they were against President Weah. You see that President Weah, not see that thing? President Weah saw it. President Weah is one person who loves the people. But he just said it. He said, you're telling your life, you are never start with President Weah. Nothing about the people. Nothing about the people. President Weah's priority is the people. He loves the people, he loves his country. That's why you see President Weah went all over the world. He's a natural and he's first. But he started America, but he said, no, I choose Liberia because I'm a country. He came down to us. But it's the first thing when you not understand the importance of the word, then you get dry. Like you know the importance of the word. Now we're going to know the importance of President Weah. So the transport minister, the question I want to know is, so more minister will be as transport minister, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm not too sure. I don't want to believe that's what the transition seeks to erase. I think there's going to be adjustment in the administrative or organigram of the ministry, but there will be a minister. There will be a minister. They're not shutting the ministry down. They're just transferring a department from the ministry to the Liberia Traffic Management. So there will be a minister of transport, there will be a deputy minister and all of that. But I think the entire motor vehicle section is what going to be affected, especially particularly the department that is responsible for registering vehicles and issuing driver license. So that's the department.
But you see, that people they will not worry. The people will be on that department. The person who will be paying it.
In real life, when the voice people say that I'm going to pay me, just making fun of other people. Okay, let's talk to Edmond. Edmond, go ahead.
Thank you. Let me say good evening to you and Morris. Thanks to you guys. You know, Austin, we are speaking up because we don't want for history to run it just us tomorrow. Mm-hmm. That is why we are speaking up. Yeah. Because everything that is happening here, Boga didn't hear it from us. He said it. Okay, play the tape this afternoon. Everywhere there are 500 persons when I come, I will put the 400 down and take 100. But the whole lies about that whole story is that they are putting people down and putting their own people in. Immediately the government took over. One of the higher up in that ministry was lying down on her car, saying the car she gave up. So many the Unity Party supporter in that ministry. Look, some of my guys are telling me that when they went into that ministry to acquire their lesson, there were indirect campaigns that were taking place in there. Because when you sit before the desk, the question is, oh, you can't get your lesson.
Oh, Elma, I think somebody is interrupting him. So,
they were pushing they were pushing for the agenda of the particular government that had come. So, the rating was on the how many times Freedom in play that tape? How many times Kings FM in play that tape? How many times Banner FM in play that?
Chunky, you have to take calls, man. I think somebody is calling.
Okay, we'll go back to line one. Your name?
My name is Pierre.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I disagree on the same. I'm disagree because it's trying management take over. I'm not speaking on behalf of the people who protest you. MOT go. To have MOT go destroy the people that say into A. So I'm speaking because I'm a driver. I'm speaking the way we're going on a station. Traffic management, right? We're making all with the driver hard time. So if they take over, the way driver will facing the way at this moment with traffic, they are getting top on the television. But ticket like that, that's going to be safe. That's going to get the ticket. Even if they mistake made, give it ticket. Even if they mistake made, they will try to work. The 20 even for the pay $150 US. They spend 3 days, after 3 days. Just every day that so you can't spend it. Every day I tender. So you spend 10 days, 10 days, plus you want the 150, everything you don't give it. No breaking there. So for me, I want for this. You want for the send it back. But the problem that it will not be job cover. I want president is not listening, Not care for the masses. Not care for the city. We'll come from out to judgment day. But the pocket happy and so on. But not. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll leave you and go to line 2.
Yeah, good evening.
Go ahead. Name and joining us.
Yeah. From Grandpa, $7. So I agree that the people should protest because it is their right to want about constitution. But again, there's a thing that a child I can't hear will also how to see the highway.
Oh, a child can't hear, they can feel. I am my own man.
So I continue. So here's the issue. You were giving their light, they didn't have a period about 14 times. The where there were 100, then you put 200 there, we'll put it down, even more than that. He said you will change everything. But you still look at the thing, he went to the thing. I am expecting you. But how be it? Let the people protest. Are they constitutional right? So send signal to the president that what he did and what he is still doing to this country is very dangerous. It's causing serious economic embarrassment for us. We don't have other job. But to speak to that issue of sanitary job, now actually really I will not play on the country here. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. There, we'll leave you and go back to line one. This caller, hello, your name and you joining us from where? Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
Go ahead. What is your name and where are you joining us from?
My name is Abdullah T. Kiazuru from Poro.
Austin and Junkies here, Freedom Hard Talk.
To me, they should not vote. They should not demonstrate because you're a pastor of now. For the beginning up to today, some people are saying a black. So when the monkey, you must let it also they take what behind it. You should not smell it. You should not say it wrong too much. So let it be just after a. Let it be there. When they get them, fuck them. And for me, they fuck them bitterly. Because they call for it.
Okay. Thank you. We leave you and go to this caller on line 3. Your name and where you joining us from?
This is George D. Capri, and I call for the second finance city in Bong. Yeah, you know, for me, hello?
You're live. Go ahead.
You're live.
Yeah. For me, I will. Oh, don't want to skip, but President Bwanda refused to give. I think this. They respect to anything. For me, I was a reaction and I promised to not vote for the president. We are anymore because of those that were right. But President Bwanda,
and they go with their assigned
now we are seeing Ministry of Transport have been given to foreigners and take over our transport system, which is very, very bad. So I want for President Bwanda to work on this thing because if he doesn't work on it, then some of the that we left from behind. President, we are for because we said that people were controlling him. So let's go around the old man and nobody will control him. Then at the end of the day, we will be seeing, even our people that we were talking to carry President. For us to leave from behind President, we have to get President back. It doesn't work on it. Because that means people around him again are controlling him. So I think you better work on it so that the Ministry of Transport can do that work. They are the one that are responsible for what.
Thank you. So let's listen to Joe Bwaka. He made his appearance on the closing argument. Not closing argument, but what do you call that show here?
Phone talk?
No. That UP show down there.
100 people during our time. You got 500 sitting there. And they go with where there used to be at least 100 people during our time. You got 500 sitting there. And they go with their assigned salaries out of structure completely. We're going to cut them down. You don't need all of these. Where there used to be at least 100 people during our time, you got 500 sitting there. And they go with their assigned salaries out of structure completely. We're going to cut them down. You don't need all of these.
It's good that my man Stephen Johnson, Jeremy Pierre, Klatume, they're all on the show along with Beata family. When Joe Bwaka was announcing that he's going to cut it down. Today, the wage has increased over 22%. So this is what they call it. They increase the wage, expanded the capacity, pay more money in people's pockets for work they're doing, because the government does not have the capacity to build a private sector, create jobs in the private sector, and expand it and make sure that we can start building a middle class. Where do we go for jobs? We go to the public sector, the government. So the government is under pressure now to keep expanding and expanding and expanding, because you have to employ more people.
Since you are unable to expand the private sector.
So when Baratori was going to call it down, he spoke out of ignorance. He didn't know the terrain was coming into.
No.
But those of us who knew that it was impossible for Joe Braga to come and cut something down, anything down, or cut the wage bill, you didn't listen. He said we should have been ministers first before you listen to us. Today, is the wage bill cut down? No. Has it increased? Did it increase in 2024? Yes. Did it increase in 2025 further? Yes. Has it increased in 2026? Obviously, yes.
Is it
going to increase in 2027? Yes. 2028 it will increase. 2029 when we go campaigning, Joe Braga will be employing more United Partisans. You think anybody can come down with a weak, lazy, dormant private sector and promise to cut down government employment or cut down government wage? That's not possible. No economic scientist on this planet Earth can tell you, say, our private sector is weak or does not even exist, and the way the major or largest source of employment is the government, and will reduce wage. What kind of economic reasoning was that that people are supposed to believe? But you believe him. You believe him. Today, when I say, I tell you, one of the beginning, he used to, but he can still drive for me, you know, especially during weekends. I call him. The man are operating, but the man family was supporting UP. So the man decided to start supporting UP because of the family pressure. He's like the smaller brother in the family, or the only boy child anyway in the family. And, you know, he's the only boy child in the family. So girls. So they let him bow. So anyway, the man and sister said, let go, you gotta go because
darling boy.
Oh, this day I saw the man in UPT share on Facebook laugh. Hey, the day Braga went District 17. Yeah, UP all the way. Joseph Braga, the Papa, yeah, our district. But Papa will win election, job will waste, company will waste. If you do it, laugh. You put on a day. In the evening, coming, bro, where are you? I say, I'm across. I'm driving in the district. He said, when in the district coming, I said, okay, sir. I go to the district. I was sitting on one of my regular spot in the district. I normally sit there with people for the lecture. I was sitting there. I call him. Bro, yeah, he said, I said, my man, I was still giving money. Don't worry. You be not win. But the assurance, and I said, if all my friends are probably there too, I said, the assurance is when UP wins, and I give you money again, me not get money to. Because the jobs will waste. Companies will waste.
So there will be no need for me to extend.
So on joining waste and companies, I'm plenty in the country. Not my bidding. You say you agree. I say you agree. You say yeah. People will do what I say. Okay, we agree. When you campaign, my manager to be having issue. Oh, the ball can be behind you. I call and he said, "Can be behind you?" Then supporting United Party. And then I said, "No way." All the picking around me. We not get political party thing. I know how to convince. Sometimes it's too much. You tell them people in the pagana. They say allow them to bust it. When they bust it, it splash on their face. They say, "Oh, about you are talking." So that they all my picking behind me. The only man who say he going UP. So allow the men to bust the pagana. That is feces splash on your face. Then you come by and say, "Bro, I did that true." Turn to the fool. After 6 months, the first budget pass. He sent test. But the boy increase. Sorry, I'm replying. What are 2024? We into 2025. The budget pass. Civil service sorry, now increase. He started coming around small. Then you call. I will not answer. He sent test. Boy, you around me. Let me know. 2026. No, last year November. Oh boy, I call him. He can't say so. How's everything? Boy, easy on the country. No more in the country.
Joe, where's the country?
He said, they play as a pro, the Pablo, they want the Pablo as I understand him as what the problem is giving money.
Because it's not trickling down. It's not trickling down.
I said, no. Forget about the problem I used to give you money. How about the car? You got a car in your room around. People used to call you for charter and thing. Charter by a big year. 1 year straight, nobody
charter. One charter whole year.
All the guys shouldn't give a pass. Nobody coming to charter.
Damn.
I said, yeah. He said, yeah. I said, okay. I said, let me tell you something, my beginning. Some of us, our ages might be small. When our ages are not small. Oh man, those smaller than younger than our ages. But we're not younger as we think we are. We're young, yeah. But we're not that young as you think we are.
We've been around.
We've been around for years. I mean, 2005 campaign, I campaign 2005. And the people there who are campaigning a long way, they hear the first of the morning, they hear no. Those are people that I campaign with in 2005. So we've been around for long. They will not just campaign where Isa politics and governance like that. Interact with the big sharks, then the big for years. So we've been around for long to understand plenty of things, if not everything. Nobody can fool me who to vote for, another vote for. We've reached a point where we are supposed to be providing guidance for the younger people in terms of making political choices. So when we speak with that, don't just look at us as journalists speaking. We have practical experience. We've been there in those circles. All the corridors, we understand the corridors. The only person I've not sat with is Joe Barker. But when you're vice president, I sat with him. The only person in Abuja in 2005, I sit down with to lecture on multiple occasions. That Joe Barker. And when I take person will be in the room, I will be there. So is I brought him back. So you agree now that Barker ain't get no capacity to create jobs. But honestly, I never forget it. I said, well, one vote could have made impact because at 20,000 votes lost the election way. So imagine how many of you made that decision. Just imagine how many of you made that decision. Yeah. Oh, on the basis, on the basis of what they promised you. That will convince the younger people. They really believe what they were promised. Today, this government has not. And please remind us tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll not be on the show. So unfortunate about this Wednesday schedule for me, but I have to do it for But we have to have a conversation. If we can have that conversation 9 to 10, it's important. I can join you via the telephone.
Yeah.
We need to have. Look, the government has not brought in one new investment or concession in this country.
No.
2 years after 2 years. The Ministry of Public Works, they can point to one new road. They say this project. We have broken ground for this road to build a road from year to year. That we negotiated.
New signature project.
Nothing. 22 million I build a road somewhere as a signature project. You bring 22 million plus for yellow machine. You're talking about Brandon Samuka saying you want 4 million to run the office. The 4 million out to the 22 million to run the office. Run the office inclusive of maintenance, or if it is exclusive of maintenance, I mean, we're hitting 32 to 34 million dollars. You know, we're talking about how much is going to civil servant for wage. So, Muhammad, is there?
You got to regularly fuel those
maintenance.
Machines.
You rent the office space. Maintenance ain't joke.
You didn't even build public works and road development hubs for those machines before they are deployed.
We're in a mess. And if some of you cannot understand at this point, after 2 years of your lives, in honor Joe Barker as president, forget about the UP. I tell UP all of this. I don't care because that individual that Joe Barker never be. There will always be a united party and a CDC. So, man, I'm not really concerned about the party. I'm concerned about the flag bearer, his capacity. When a party can tell you, say, we will do this, look at the standard bearer, the person that the standard bearer that the party is projecting to drive the implementation of that agenda they are projecting to you. Does he have the capacity? We went wrong. We made a big mistake. We have to own it, all of us. Especially those of you who didn't listen to us. We made a big political mistake. 4 years to go. Can Braka change the narrative? Obviously not. Why? Because he doesn't have the capacity. Why? Because nobody who has real capacity to invest in this country is looking Liberia's way. The Chinese are not looking our way for real investment. The Europeans are not looking our way for real investment. The Americans are not looking our way for real investment. No. Who else? The Asians. They are not looking our way for real investment. The Africans are not looking our way for real investment. Anybody, those folks that are coming, they come here to exploit your natural resources, to exploit your ignorance, to exploit your corrupt nature. They know you're corrupt in government, so they come here to give you peanut. When they drop it, you come for it. Drop it, you come for it. We used to catch a chicken. Yeah? Drop it, you come for it. Drop it, you come for it. You'll be picking for it, picking for it until you grab.
You are entrapped.
When you're bundle, then they start raking, milking, sucking your natural resources. And after you've already tasted the cash they're giving you. So you always want it.
Yes.
So you can't hold them, you can't squeeze them to anything. You can't tie them to anything.
No.
Because two things. They are not go leave your country and go. You will not get the money you are getting personally. Or you compare them to do the right thing and they will pay less and they will pay directly to the system and not to you.
And not to you. Which you are not willing to let go.
But they told the people that they were bringing companies here. Braka was respected outside Liberia. He's a respected statesman. He peers. Where are Braka's peers today? 2 years gone. Where are his friends that you say he are out there? Where are his peers? They're chasing small, driver licensing at the Ministry of Transport to give it to their friends at the traffic management to manage today so they can be able to get small money because concessions do not feel, investors do not feel or see Liberia as a comfortable place to invest, to do business. That US government report, that US State Department report on Liberia, it has damaged your country. Nobody come here with money to invest that money here. Until you can improve your justice system, especially the courts, the USA, the court is ineffective and corrupt. You have to work on that. You can't work on it because you're still using the courts. I'm twisting them to pull Puflanti in jail because you now let Bene. They need for you. That all. So the investors are not coming here. They will not come here. They see how you are manipulating the courts. Your legal advisor told you on video how he told phone and called the solicitor and told him and instructed him to drop a case involving 2 private citizens. Americans have recorded that. They're not coming here. They're not coming here. They see how you go to prosecute the fanatic people in the case. Your own jury panel your own jurors, in fact, that you impanel. You say no, we're not choosing again because they're asking hard question. They expand the jury. Confuse people in government. Confuse people presiding over our governance process. When you hear reform, governance reform, don't celebrate. I will leave you with this message. Anytime in your life you hear somebody tell you good governance reform, you the ordinary people do not celebrate. What do? Ask questions. What kind of governance reform are you talking about? Which sectors have you established? Have you identified to be reformed? What specifically are you going to reform in those sectors? How will the reform process look like? These are questions, fundamental questions that are critical to any governance reform process that takes place anywhere around the world. And only people like us who understand these things, because we didn't just sit down and learn it. It took us years to build the experience and to learn it in classroom. You just sit down, governance reform, you start celebrating. Today, you celebrated yesterday. Today, the reformer has gone to the Ministry of Transport. Then you cry.
And you crying. Why are you crying?
So when your politicians tell you we reform, the government. Don't celebrate.
So also it remind me of when former President we said beat it, driver, beat it.
Yeah.
When we died our beat it, driver, beat it.
Yeah.
Your dollar like
the driver start beating. Say, oh no,
the driver will beat it. The driver will beat it.
Don't hear. He just said the driver should beat it.
Austin, the driver will beat it.
The driver
because the driver is already accelerating mode now. The driver is accelerating mode.
Joe, we are only telling Austin.
Yes.
Liberians, you don't know what you want.
You don't know what you want.
Except what is before you. Take your time to get to where you want to get.
Yeah.
And understand the environment you're in and where you're going.
Yes. Have a sense of atonement.
Yes. You just want somebody, my man, where you going? You're driving too slow.
Yeah.
How do you want to get to where you're going?
How do you want to get to where you're going?
Do you know the driver's capacity? Do you know what the driver has? Do you know the driver's experience? Do you know what the driver's in the driver's mind?
How sure are you ahead there is not traffic or there is traffic?
Beat the driver beating. You just want the driver.
We die, I won't worry.
The driver beating it now.
Yeah.
When you're down, I'm not worry.
Oh, that only the worry.
Don't worry.
Say that you're worry.
My people, where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping.
Oh yes, we have to go home.
Wave your hands.
We have to go home.
Come on.
Thanks to all of you for joining us tonight.
Oh, yeah?
It was a pleasure having all of you on the show tonight, and we shall be back here tomorrow by God's grace. But until then, do have yourselves pleasant moments in your respective areas. My name is Austin Kawa. Junkins Morris was here along with me. We shall be back here tomorrow in person and in spirit. Good night.
The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they can lie. I said we tired with their lies.